Close your eyes for a little minute. Take a breath, maybe two. And feel the flame of that sacredness inside of you softly, right around your heart. And as you breathe, let your awareness and your breath go into that sacredness inside of you, saying, yes, I am sacred. We are here in this beautiful vibration of energy, of ancient ones, of ancestors, of the land. And together, we breathe that in, and it's familiar. And our cells say, yes, I remember. And our cells say, yes, I'm ready for more love. Yes, open the wisdom to me. Open the wisdom way. Open the way of healing. Open the way of light.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. It's a quiet time. It's a short message. It's about belief. It's about channeling. It's about allowance of thought. It's about being stuck in paradigms when you don't have to be. Dear ones, this is called a channeling. My partner steps away. There are those who say, well, he's in trance. He's not. Well, there are those who say, well, he is a mediumship. He's not. Channeling has no attribute that has a word in any language. It is a meld between the higher self of the individual and the other side of the veil. If you believe you have a piece, a part of God inside you, then there has to be what is called a higher consciousness inside you. A piece perhaps of your soul which vibrates higher than the corporeal in you. And some call it the higher self. And that is what is connected to a vastness of creation that allows these messages to come through. Channeling is common through history, called other things. We've told you before, a musician channels, an artist channels, connects in a way that some call as pure creative energy. It passes through that corporeal veil and picks up the beauty of the planet, the melodies, the art, the sculpture, the poetry. That's channeling. But let's get to the basics. Right now, as I talk to you, there are those who would never, ever listen. It doesn't matter if this is available for anyone to hear at the touch of a switch. They will run from it. There are those who will say, I will never listen to this, for it is evil, it's not appropriate, it's wrong. And I want to tell you why, dear ones. It's tradition, and you don't even know it. You're going on information that has been given to you by those you trust, perhaps even those you love. You grow up perhaps in a belief system that your parents grew up in. And from the beginning, they will tell you what is right, what is wrong, what the doctrine says, and you will see the love of God in them. Perhaps it's by a spiritual teacher in a system, and you can see the love of God in them. They become trustworthy, your friends, your mentors, and they say, this is the way it is, and it is not. And you carry that into your life as your belief, and you cognize it because they said so. It becomes so ingrained in you, you would never, ever listen to this. You would shrink from my voice and say it is not of God. It is something else. And there are the beliefs that there is a dark side that wants to capture somehow your soul. And that is my part. Dear ones, this is not logic. It doesn't even make sense. It's what you were told. And if you are in that mindset at this moment, listening to this for some reason, keep listening, please. For this message is all about you. It's about love. And it's about spiritual common sense. The way some belief systems have been developed is so interesting and so human. And we've spoken of this many times. And we ask you to weigh in the balance your logic and the logic of love. And we speak of the consciousness of the Creator. And I say, do you believe in God? And you may say yes. Do you believe God created all things? And you would say yes. Do you believe God created human beings? And you would say yes. Do you believe the human beings were in God's image? That is to say, consciousness emulates love. And you would say, yes, that's what Scripture says. And then I'd say, what happened? Because suddenly you are not able to connect. In fact, your doctrine will say that somewhere along the line, you misbehaved. And your misbehavior removed you from the Creator. That the infinite love and compassion of the Creator turned its back on you because of your bad behavior. In addition, all of those born after you, all of the innocents will share in your misbehavior. They cannot contact God either. God has turned the compassion of the universe against you. And if you want to talk to God, it's got to be through an ordained human being who's able to do it, and you're not. And you would say, that's what we've been told. And I ask you, does it make sense? And you would say, yes, it still makes sense. This is the doctrine. For all have misbehaved. And because they have, they fall short of the majesty of the Creator. And therefore, they have to raise themselves up and do something. They have to suffer, go through others in order to reconnect. And then I start asking you these questions that I've asked again and again and again. Please suspend for just a moment everything you've been told and listen to this. Would you do that to your children? If they misbehave, will you slam the door and say, you're out of here? Not only that, the grandchildren are too. Because you misbehaved, I am not going to talk to you. I disown you and all of your descendants. And you would say, a parent would never do that. Unconditional love for the child. They pick themselves up, you forgive them, you help them into the next. And you do it all your lives. Dear ones, you do it all your lives. That's the love you have for your child. And so here's the question. At what moment did God become dysfunctional and less than you? Can you put this together? At what point did the ultimate compassion and love of a universal creator become so dysfunctional that it wasn't even as strong as a human love for this child? And you'll say, but that's what we were told. And I say to you, does it make spiritual sense? Can you love God differently and stay in that structure that is all about the love of God? Maybe. You got a piece of it incorrectly. Channeling is connecting to this source. It's always been there. It's for you, it's for all. And if you let a men's doctrine get in the way of the love of God, I ask you to simply question the energy of the decision. Could it be that God is much, much bigger than you were told? When you sing the praises of your prophet, of your God, you can feel the love. It's a connection. I am singing the praises of the Creator right now, in my chair with my partner. That's what I'm doing. And you can feel the love. Dear ones, the connection to Spirit is absolute. All of you can do this. Silently alone in your chair while you walk around, while you talk to Gaia, and the energy pours out of the ground and congratulates you for awareness that you're bigger than you were told you were. That's the plea that Spirit has to humanity. There's nothing wrong with the culture you're in and the beliefs. It's all about the love of God. But perhaps you can connect the dots and see it's more personal than you were told. And that there is no bad behavior that would separate you from you, because you are the love of God. Inside you, corporally, right to the center of your being, is God. Different than any mammal on the planet, awareness, your creation stories, dear ones, all speak of a time when you were given this, the knowledge of black and white, discernment, God inside you. It's everywhere on the planet. Take a look. Now connect the dots. God did not turn the back of compassion on you. In fact, it's just the opposite. All your life, there's been a handout, beautiful, glowing, smiling, that said, won't you find it? There is love here. Direct love. Take the hand of Spirit and start channeling. Find the creative beauty of your own intuition here. Channel that which is your higher self and find joy in your life. Connect directly. It's not that strange, really, is it? And there will be those who say, yes, it is, and turn their backs and walk away. And that, dear ones, is free choice. And I want to tell you, if you do that, you have a God that still loves you just as much, even with that behavior. It's unconditional, just like you and your children. Should it be any less? Why should it be any less? In fact, it should be much more. It is. Can you celebrate that it is? You sit in a beautiful place, and I don't mean the country, or I don't mean that which you see outside. The beautiful place is you. Sacred to the core. Beautiful in the eyes of God. A family that keeps returning to the source. We know your name in light, not in dark. Think about it. And so it is.